Her shoe's fixed. Whoop, whoop. Look at those calves. Oh my gosh, she looks so good, even with just one shoe on. Let her be naked, right? Like, who are you? Who is this girl? She's amazing.
I'm like, who is your favorite? I bet you guys would. What?
Hey guys, I'm back, and today I'm really excited to show you a strange but very interesting line of dolls from the late 70s, brought to us by the magical, wonderful Mattel. Now, during this time, the 70s, there was a lot of funny stuff going on, but most importantly, Mattel gave us an anthropomorphic line of dolls. We had a human and animal mashup to create the Gorgeous Creatures.
Oh, the most glamorous, gaga, gorgeously outrageous little beastly beauties ever. Your kids will call them crazy fashion dolls.
Oh, gorgeous creatures, fashion features, lots of things for your kids to do. Gorgeous creatures dolls, new from Mattel.
They came out with these fashion dolls, which were much shorter at 7.5 inches than your standard Barbie, and offered us a little bit of fantasy, whimsy, if you will. The bad news is we only had one wave. Since there are only 4, that means it's actually quite doable to complete a set. And because these dolls are so interesting, I've decided to give each one their very own moment in the spotlight. And I'm definitely going to be recycling this intro for all 4 dolls, because why say the same thing over and over again? So be prepared to see all of this in parts 3 and 4. So without further ado, I bring you today's video on Cow Belle. Here she is in all of her beautiful blue glory, and she is definitely doing better than Miss Giddee Yup was in terms of having her pieces, but she does still have quite a few things that would be considered in need of repair. So if we just take her off of this stand, we can get a better look at her. She lost a shoe. Hold on a second. These are very teeny. All right, her shoe has in fact been replaced. And now that she's off her stand, we can get a better look at her, like we were trying to do. So here's Miss Cow Belle. She is beautiful. She does have this orangey glow to her. It's probably meant to be a brown cow, but she does have more of a sun-kissed look with a white snout or muzzle, brown eyes, and very blue, dramatic 3D eyeshadow. And just like Miss Giddee Yup, not only is it sticking off of her face, but it definitely resembles flower petals. She also has the addition of little horns on top of her head, which are a little bit of a creamy pink color. The insides of her ears, along with her cheeks, are blushed, and if I tip her head up, you can just see that her bottom lip has a pink color, very similar to the cheeks. She does actually have quite a few of her pieces, which is very exciting, but I am going to take off this bow because we'll need to take a better look at it in just a minute after we see her hair, which is pretty matted, but otherwise in really good condition. It doesn't seem as though she's lost any over the years, and if she did, it was minimal. However, there is a good deal of waxy feeling buildup, which could very well be from the glue that they used to hold the hair inside the head. I've definitely experienced that before, but yeah, it looks pretty nice, and hopefully once it's clean, it will lose that waxy feeling and end up being a much more refined version of her current look, which is beautiful, honestly. Her bangs are even curled off to the right side here. I love it. In fact, it's probably my favorite hairstyle of the 4 characters. If I pull back her hair, I'm very pleased to announce that she is wearing her earrings, which are a clear plastic with just a standard stud diamond in the center. Very old school Barbie, and it is meant to match a necklace, which unfortunately my doll here does not have, as well as a ring. Once again, she does not have it. However, the previous owner of this doll did supply a gold Barbie ring, so she's got something. Now that we are done with her beautiful face, hair, and jewelry, we can move on to her dress. It consists of a nice fitted top with a big flowy skirt in 2 different layers. So underneath, we have a light blue fabric, and on top, we have a variety of 3 different pieces of tulle separated by a row of silver sequins on either side of the front panel. So the left side is a vibrant dark blue, the center light blue, and the right side is a deep purple. And although it's completely connected in the front, the back of it is separated. Also back here, we have one metal snap button to close the piece. The top section of the dress should have been a nice turquoise color, but unfortunately, over the years, the top layer of color has started to peel off of the fabric, leaving behind little streaks of patchiness. You can actually see through in some sections, where others appear to have a bit of a metallic sheen. And the same goes for this opera glove sleeve that she's got. It is once again meant to be that same turquoise color, but definitely experiencing metamorphosis that does not result in beauty. So it's seen some better days, but at the end of the day, I have the piece, and that's what matters. Which brings me to another piece. It's her little hanky, which, I mean, it's not really a hanky if you think about it. These are tulle. They're very decorative. So, I mean, ain't nobody blowing their nose or putting tears in these, but whatever. It's the same purple color as the right side of her dress and has some stretchy cord in silver. That way we can put it on her wrist. Let's just put this one back on her left hand and move these out of the way. And dang, look at that. We've got some sewing to do. This thread holding the silver sequins in place on the left side is definitely coming undone, and we do not want to lose any of those. Hopefully that's an easy fix. And speaking of sequins, we have another set coming from the top center of her neckline here, going over each shoulder to create some straps. And then they're just stitched to the fabric at the back of her dress. And there you have it. That is Cow Belle. But do not forget that we had a hair accessory in the form of this elastic silver bow in a matching light blue tulle with the same turquoise shedding afflicted material forming a bow in the center. You just put that on her any which way we want, but not yet, because all of this needs to be cleaned. But not before I show you her final bit, some shoes. Definitely not perfect, but very happy to have them because, once again, my Miss Giddee Yup had no shoes. Basically, they are little rubbery stilettos. Think Polly Pocket in the 2000s, like that rubbery material from her clothing, and then you know exactly what these feel like. They've got a closed toe, tall heel, and a wraparound strap that closes pretty simply actually with a small nubbin on one side and a little circle with a hole in it so that we just pop one side into the other and bam. The left one looks pretty good, but unfortunately our right one is not only disgusting, but also broken. So I'm not sure how I can keep this original and fix that, but I will do something, I'm sure. And now it's bath time. So as I undress my beautiful Miss Cow Belle, I'll let you know that I plan to use warm soapy water. It is just Dawn dish soap. I'm gonna take a great deal of care washing the dress and being very, very gentle because I don't want anything to fall apart or any more bits to fall off. And now that she's undressed, I can show you her body. It is pretty much the exact same as Ms. Giddee Yup, except in this orangey shade. She's got big curves, a big booty, thin waist, a big chest, and comes wearing a bodice that has little leaves and scallops all over. She's got a bent knee and tiptoe position for her legs. They do not bend and snap, but they do have the ability to go back and forth, rotating at the hip, which her arms also have, as well as her head. It just sits on top of this ball neck peg, giving us a good deal of rotation. In regards to her actual body, I'll definitely be spending time on her chest, which is stained. Hopefully that will come out. Also, in regards to her neck, let me just point out that there's a huge hole here. So when I finish washing this, I will have to dry this upside down so that we don't end up with nastiness forming inside her plastic body. Now it's time for cleaning. So I'm gonna start by setting out my towel. We don't want to make a huge mess, along with a bowl of warm soapy water, and I'm just gonna wash everything down. And you're gonna see me doing that and various steps along the way, such as removing all of her jewelry, making sure to put it to the side so I don't lose it, and taking the utmost care with this delicate cow because she matters to me and I want to do her justice. She's going to be the belle of the ball. And because I'm most nervous about the clothing, I believe that is what I'll start with. And I'm just gonna wash this in the warm Dawn dish soapy water and be very gentle, like the most gentle cycle on a human washing machine ever was gentled. I want to remove stains and years of potential home smell, but not remove any pieces, sequins, or fabric flakes if I can help it. I mean, chances are it's going to happen anyways, but you know, we've got dreams around here. Ew. Ew, it's so gummy. All right, so this is the right shoe and how nasty it is to start. And now I'm kind of wondering, because it's so gummy, if it was some type of glue that somebody once upon a time used in order to try to fix the shoe. And if so, that sucks because I don't know how I'm gonna fix it. But either way, ugh, it's so gross. So nasty. But still, we proceed because my hands are already in soapy water. So realistically, I mean, I'm already in the best situation for this specific situation. We're getting somewhere. After I have washed everything in the warm soapy water, I'll be rinsing it in clean warm water and then letting everything air dry before coming back and deciding if I intend to fix anything and how I will do it. And when it comes to her actual body, instead of just Dawn dish soap, I'm actually going to use this mixture that I keep to the side for stains in clothing, which by the way works great. This is a mixture of Dawn dish soap, warm water, and baking soda. And I'm just going to pop a toothbrush in there. I specifically went to Dollar Tree and got toothbrushes with containers so that they can be labeled. And these are my restoration and cleaning toothbrushes and solution. My hope is that if I gently scrub away at this darkened stain on her chest and thigh, her right thigh specifically, we might be able to get rid of it. If that doesn't work, then she's just getting a nice thorough clean, and worst case, we may have to switch over to a magic eraser later on. Now, if you want to know how this works for set-in stains, my son had some kind of stain. I think it was from like sunblock or something, but basically it left a little oil stain. I had put it aside for so long because I didn't know if I could get it out, and eventually one day I just attached the shirt to a clipboard, giving me a nice hard surface, and then applied a bit of hot water, and with a toothbrush I scrubbed in some Dawn dish soap and some baking soda. I scrubbed it in and then left fresh dish soap along with more baking soda and let it sit there overnight. Threw it in the wash as is with my regular items and detergent, and then boom, the shirt was like, what stain? It never even occurred to me that it would be so easy to take it off. So yeah, maybe that's common knowledge, but I didn't know. And so you're welcome to try it. If you do, let me know if it works for you. Anywho, here is my body, and it looks like it worked. Heck yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this off and let her drain upside down. We'll move on to her head and hair. I'll definitely be giving her a shampoo and condition, making sure to not pull very hard on her hair because I want it to stay in her head. And once again, spend some time cleaning up her face because there is a bit of discoloration on the bridge of her nose, which may or may not show up very well on camera, but we've also got some around the top section of her snout. Chances are this is just dirt from years of sitting. I mean, it does protrude quite a bit from her face, and so naturally anything yucky in the air would be settling directly on that. Let me just get a bit more of that solution on there, and we'll give her a good old scrub-a-dub-dubbin. Oh, this looks like it's working. Excellent. The toothbrush method is chef's kiss. Oh, she looks marvelous, darling. I'm gonna wash her hair in this dirty water. Ew! Look at that. The water is literally the color of my towel. Disgusting. I'm gonna go swap this out, rinse her off upstairs, and we'll do a condition with a gentle brushing and then a final rinse and let her dry after a good thorough squeeze. And there you go. She's all done. Now on to the dress and fixing the color. Last night I went to Michael's and I picked up a couple metallic turquoise paint colors, and then I tried it on the inside seam where there's a little overhang of fabric to see if it matched what it used to look like, and I think I've got a pretty good mix going. Also, I wanted to see if it would be stiff or what. So I've got my little paint pots here. I thought this was going to be a great way to not waste any paint afterwards. And like I said, I did test some last night, and I had picked up both Aquamarine from Craft Smart. This is a multi-surface metallic paint, as well as this teal metallic deco art acrylic paint. And this is the one that matched best. So I'm just gonna put equal parts metallic paint and textile medium into one of these paint pots, mixing it up really well, and then painting it onto the bodice. I mean, this could all go horribly, horribly wrong, but at this point, I don't really have very much choice, do I? I mean, I do. I could just leave it, but that's not me. Besides, somebody has to figure it out. That way we can have a whatnot not to do in future if it doesn't work, you know? All right, I'm back. I painted this last night because I wanted to make sure it had all the time necessary to dry. And believe me, my fingers were definitely crossed that I hadn't destroyed this. I did clip down the softer tulle fabric and the sequins. That way I didn't get any blue where I didn't want it. And this is the end result. Basically the exact same thing that we had, except now filled in. Although I really am surprised to see that the silver lines of threading are still visible. And I did end up doing at least 2 coats. And the material itself is not stiff or starchy. It's very pliable. Overall, I think this is going to be the only solution I have to proceed with both the bow as well as her sleeve. But before I paint anything, I'm gonna fold this in half and trace it because there's only 1 sleeve here and she's meant to have 2, which means I need to sew another. Now that I've got my super basic template, I can go ahead and paint this sleeve. And while it dries, I'll find the closest possible match I can for the fabric base. I will paint it, let it dry, cut it out, and stitch it all together. All right, so I've got opera gloves. I went ahead and made a second one just in case one is too small. And here is the original. It is definitely a pretty good replica. So technically, if I wanted to, I could just use the 2 that I made and put this one to the side. But either way, I have options. And of course, we have our completed dress. Now off camera, I did fix the stitching. I put a needle right through the joining seam area of the fabric, top to bottom, and then pulled it through and tied it on the inside. Also, just because I'm not completely certain how safe the fabric paint will be, I did attach a liner to the inside of the dress just in case the paint transfers to the doll's body. I didn't want it to get ruined or stained in any way if I could help it. So there we go. We've got our dress, opera gloves, and of course we have our hanky. Didn't really have to do anything to this because it's still in great condition other than fraying. So that is perfect. For the bow here, I am going to be cutting this elastic. Sadly, I won't be able to keep it original. It is very crispy and has 0 stretch left in it. But because I'm cutting that off anyways, while I'm at it, I will recreate the bow. I have the tool still, and although I kept the original ribbon with the intent of painting it, it's literally like falling apart. So I just took a scrap of the already painted fabric and I'm gonna use that. It'll be a lot easier in the long run. But before I do anything, I just want to show you this decrepit piece of elastic. Here's the tragic thing. I thought this would be very easy to replace. Turns out it is not so. Apparently, it's not something that is commonly found. So unfortunately, I'll be using this, which is the closest thing I was able to find to it, and we're gonna have to make that work. But also, when I cut it off, I noticed there was a bit of blue feather there. Now, I scoured my house for feathers, couldn't find a single one. Went to a bunch of craft stores, couldn't find anything. But then, guess what? I almost cried. Jinx took this out of her journal. It was one of her original craft pages, and she happened to have a perfect match. Like, what are the odds of that? I told her she didn't have to, but she wanted to help. So now I'm ready to reassemble the bow. And so it begins. The final crafting. Where the heck is the beginning of my thread, though? And now we stitch. I'm just gonna lock my thread in place. Just give it a little pull, and I'll just take my scrap bow, add it to the center, and stitch them together. Wrap it around. There we go. That looks great. Now I'll just flip it over, take my feather and cut it. Looking beautiful. I'm gonna add a dot of clear glue to the back section so that I can stick my feather right there. This will kind of hold it in place, giving it a little bit of extra security. And while that dries, I'm gonna cut a bit of the elastic cord. Tie the ends in a knot so that they don't come undone. That would be terrible. After all this work, I ruin it. Just place it right on top and now go ahead and stitch all of this together. And just like that, it's done. And although this would not originally have been on her headpiece, I found this extra bit of sequins inside of the dress and had to cut it off, but I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm gonna put it right through the center so that we can hide the stitching. Is it original? Yes, but originally part of this section? No. But oh well, it's so cute. And finally, we have her shoes. So this one is perfect. This is what it's supposed to look like with all the straps in their right places. And this is the one that I have to fix. And honestly, because there's still goop left over that I wasn't able to remove, I am thinking that gluing it is going to be a waste of time. And my first thought is to take a glue gun and just gently press the pieces together to sort of lock it in place. I feel like this is a very easy solution if it works, and I'll be really impressed if it does. But I am so sad to let you guys know that although the hot glue gun does in fact warm and melt the rubber, it will not set upon itself. It just kind of melts and shrivels. I had hoped that would work, honestly, because it seemed like it would be a lot more seamless, but hey, it is what it is. Instead, I'm gonna try a dot of super glue and hope for the best. Life is way too short to stress over this stuff. I'm just gonna leave it, okay? And we're gonna live with that. I'm so excited. It is time to reassemble my completed Cow Belle. Everything is fixed to the best of my ability, but overall, she looks fabulous. Or at least she will once I put everything back on her and get her all glammed up. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this like for days. I'm gonna leave her head till the very end, but the rest is good to go. This is how the shoe turned out. It's ugly, but guys, it works, okay? Will it last forever? Probably not. Am I okay with that? Probably not. But do I have to live with it? Yeah, probably. Maybe I should just struggle and put it on now, because I am most nervous about those. It was E6000, by the way, not super glue. And it is holding, but whether or not it stays intact remains to be seen. Hooray! Her shoe's fixed. Woo woo. Look at those calves. Oh my gosh, she looks so good, even with just one shoe on. Let her be naked, right? Like, who are you? Who is this girl? She's amazing. So her shoes are on. Bum, 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 bum. I'm very excited, obviously. Now it's time for her dress. If this looks really good and works out well, maybe I can replace the pieces that we're missing for Miss Giddee Yup. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm jumping the gun. We have to see how everything turns out, but so far, oh, her boob's a little crooked. Hold on, let me fix that. It's looking pretty good. Of course, I am still left with the wrong ring, but not everything is gonna work out. So it's time for some sleeves. And I did decide to use both of the ones I made instead of the original because I don't want it to break. I don't know, okay? But either way, it looks the same, so it doesn't matter. And it's my doll, so it's fine. Now I'll give her her little hanky. She looks so good, oh my gosh. And she doesn't even have a head yet. I'm so excited that I didn't ruin anything. I was really nervous about those shoes when they started melting, but like not in the way that I wanted. Let me tell you. She's like Cinderella. Okay, cool. And now her head. Where's the other earring gone? Oh goodness, wait, where's the other earring gone? No! Where's the other earring gone? How did I lose that? It's been 2 seconds. Wait, what? Oh, it's on the floor, thank goodness. How the heck did it fall on the floor? I don't know. Okay, here she is, looking beautiful. I did twist her hair up while it was wet and let it dry by tucking it underneath. So hopefully she's got a nice little do under there. We'll find out in a minute. I'm gonna stick her earrings in. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. Her little horns. I am gonna do these final touches off camera and come back to show you the final look. Doesn't she look marvelous? Now, it's very easy to say, of course she looks good. I mean, you've dressed her, she's no longer naked. And realistically, did I do very much? I don't know, you be the judge of that. Let me just remind you of what I started with, okay? I mean, she wasn't all that bad, but she looks a lot fresher, I think. Cock-a-doodle-doo, check out these barnyard babes. Oh my, that was terrible. Okay, so I have added Miss Giddee Yup so you can see what both of these gorgeous creatures look like together, but she looks very naked in comparison. So now I'm thinking that, wait, cover your boob up, girl. Maybe I should recreate some of Miss Giddee Yup's items. Although I don't know how I'm gonna do the shoes because they are pretty specific. Maybe I'll find some thrifting, I don't know. But regardless, I will update you on any progress that I make in the next video because of course we still have 2 more gorgeous creatures to go. But overall, I am very happy. Okay guys, that's it for me and today's up close and personal with the anthropomorphic beauty that is Cow Belle. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I wish I had a replacement for her ring. And of course she is still missing her necklace, but I think she turned out so freaking fabulous. If you know somebody who would enjoy today's video because they are a collector of weird and obscure items and stuff, then please share it with them. And if you enjoyed it yourself, then please make sure you remember to comment, like, and subscribe because I am interested to hear all of your thoughts for the stunning Beauty in Blue Melissa. Just kidding. You can let me know down below what you liked or didn't like about today's video, which is your favorite doll out of the entire line, regardless of only having checked out one today. But yeah, all of that. That's it for me and my hair, which is doing stuff. I don't know. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!